Well, hi Sagittarius. Welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It's time for your weekly reading. This is a two-part reading. The overall energy of this reading will be the center card in the first section of the reading. So I am going to shuffle these cards like I used to do when I was Quickie Tarot, and let the cards fly out the way they want to fly out. Ooh. And these are your cards. I've had a lot of people missing this type of shuffling, so I decided to go back to it. Because this just, I don't know, it's more interesting, I guess. Whoa! If there's any left over from the first part of the reading, I just set them aside for the second part of the reading. Here we go. In order, as they came out, for Sagittarius, what can you expect come up in your life from the universe? What do you need to know? Okay, we had a few left over. Okay, so Sagittarius, the overall energy of your reading, the Ten of Wands. Okay, you've been carrying a heavy burden. What is this burden? I have a feeling I'm going to find out something about it. But what's great about the Ten of Wands is you can't carry that burden much longer. You're going to have to start dropping some of those wands. That's why this person is all hunched over. So you're either going to drop them one by one, or you're just going to let them all drop at the same time. But this reading is about your burden. So whatever that burden is that you've been carrying. Up here in your highest energy, I have the Page of Swords. So, I mean, you might be spying on someone, like checking their social media or something like that. That could be a burden. It could be that maybe it's an ex that's with someone else. I'm guessing right here. But this is also about being in self-defense, about having your sword up. And you are seeking truth and clarity, and that comes with the spying. If this card relates to you, looking at their social media or something just to find out what's going on in their lives, that's called spying. But it's for, your truth and your clarity here. You need to know some things, I can tell, because I have the Four of Swords next to the Page of Swords, and the Four of Swords is right above the Ten of Wands. So this burden, you're in a process of healing. And in order to heal, you feel like you needed more truth and more clarity. So, very deep healing card, very spiritual. See the stained glass windows. Your time alone, a lot of it is spent meditating, praying. It can be soul searching, just really putting a lot of thought into seeking your truth and the clarity that you need in order to move forward. To release this burden that you've been carrying. I have the Two of Pentacles next to the Four of Swords. So someone might have been juggling a couple of people. It might be, it also can be about the feeling of being unstable in a relationship. With the Pentacles, like one day you were like, yeah, I think this is the right person for me for the rest of my life. And then the next day you're like, oh, why am I with this person? So there's rocky waters back here, and you can see those ships just kind of bouncing around. It's very unstable. It's a very off balance type of energy. You also could be off balance right now, and because you're going through all this healing. I think you were in love. I think the thing is you're in love. I got the Ace of Cups here. I think you offered your love to somebody, and something went wrong, very wrong. You have a lot of love in your heart, and you wanted to share it. This is why, my first impression was looking at an ex or something like that and seeing what they're up to, who they're dating, who they're hanging out with, just something to help you get closure. On the other side of the Ten of Wands is the Page of Wands. Something's brewing. Something is kind of like brewing from your feet, and it's going to come out your mouth. And it's going to help you have this fresh start and new beginning that you really seek. You're holding on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings here. The Page of Wands is speaking up or making a declaration or just saying what maybe wasn't said is going to be said, or This could be a declaration you're going to make to yourself about moving forward, how you're going to move forward. I have the Seven of Pentacles under the Ace of Cups. You, my friend, waited and waited and waited for them to offer their love to you. Now, it never came to fruition. This is a card of still waiting. It's like the buds are on the plant, but that's as far as it got. It never actually came to fruition. It never bloomed. It never blossomed. And so you spend a lot of time, it feels like, on this relationship, waiting for things to move forward. I have the Nine of Pentacles next to the Seven of Pentacles, and under this burden, this is about the other person, this card. This can be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. It might be strong in your chart, their chart, or around this reading. But, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is about somebody who really likes to be single. They're very self-confident. They feel very secure and stable and just being them. So I don't think they really had a desire to offer a couple of, because I think they wanted to stay single, period. That became a burden. And you're still hanging on to that burden there. But you will be letting it go with that Ten of Wands, for sure. I have the Strength card right next to the Nine of Pentacles and under the Page of Wands. Now, first off, there's the infinity symbol, the symbol of intuition and knowing. So what this card is about, it's about knowing what you have to do and finding the strength and the courage to do it. And it has to do with speaking up, speaking out, or making a declaration to yourself, a promise to yourself, or just speaking your mind. But it's going to help you move forward, okay? It's going to help you drop these wands. And it is going to take courage. Whatever this is, it's going to take courage and strength for you to do. It's like not something you normally do every day, but you will do it. And it has to do with this person who wanted to stay single, that was not offering their love, had you on a roller coaster ride during the relationship. So let's take out the second part of the reading here. The Sagittarius universe. Get a few more cards. That one didn't come out. It almost did. There we go. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, whoever this person was, they might have had Aries in their chart. You might have Aries in your chart someplace with the Emperor coming out. Excuse me. I feel like this was their energy, though. I think they were stubborn. I don't think they were budging. I think they wanted it their way and their way only. That's how I feel. So the Emperor, very stubborn, just kind of really set in their ways. They really like being single, and that's where they want to stay. So, you know, that's a granite throne, very heavy. You can't even get this Emperor to get up. They're very set, like I said. And this causes a lot of confusion, a lot of roller coaster rides. No wonder. But I do see that they try to come back in and maintain the same relationship that you had before. No changes. But they try to come back in, and this is you. This is letting your burden go, actually, by not accepting them to come back into your life and, you know, have a one-sided relationship. So you're not accepting the cup, this offer. There's other cups out there. Why do you have to accept this one? And I think that's where you're getting. I think this might be the declaration. I think you're making it to yourself. And it's like you deserve better. And you know it. So you're leaving the old behind and you're moving forward. I have the Death card right here. You're like, no, I don't want that cup anymore. You want to move forward. You're putting an end to the old and bringing on the beginning of the new. This is the card for Scorpio. So Scorpio might be strong in your chart or someone else's around this reading. But the energy, you are definitely leaving the old behind and moving forward. There's communication going on here. So I think you're making a declaration to yourself, but I have the Eight of Wands, which is right under the Emperor and next to the Page of Wands. I think there are things that will be said. I think they're going to try to come back in. They'll be texting you, phone calling you, or however you were doing it, through the airways. And there's going to be conversations, and I think things are going to be said that really you needed to say. That's going to help you put down your wands. The wands, this conversation. So it's like it ends, but it continues a little bit. They try to come back in, and you decide that you want something better. You deserve better. I have the Moon card right next to the Eight of Wands and under the Four of Cups. I feel like through this communication, some things are revealed. This is what's helping you drop those wands, too, that surround this entire reading, that heavy burden. The Moon, hidden things being revealed. Things coming out in the open that you didn't know were there. Night turning to day. This is a card for Pisces. Pisces might be strong in your chart, their chart, or around this reading. But it's helping you decide, it's helping you know that you don't want this person anymore. You're ready to move on. Under the Death card, this is like something you're moving away from. This is next to the Moon card. I think you're going to find out that they really were looking at this relationship like a friends with benefits. This is friendship with love, and it's a soulmate card. So that's the attraction the two of you had, but we have lots of soulmates out there. But this is also can be friends with benefits. So I feel like this is what's going to be revealed, and this is going to actually help you to make the decision to move forward and to leave this relationship behind, because I don't think you want a friends with benefits relationship in this reading, if this is your reading. So I think that gets revealed through all this conversation, that they just wanted it the way they wanted it. They want to stay single. They don't want to move forward. You know, they liked it the way it was, and you want to need. It's more than a want. It's more like a need to move forward. So here's your Ace of Wands. Out of all that conversation, your fresh start, your new beginning, just blooming and blossoming after this conversation. And this is where you find the strength. You find the strength to say what it is that you have to say, to ask the right questions, and you find the strength to move forward. The Ace of Wands is right next to the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is right below the Moon. Wow. Yeah, you don't really like what they have to say. You're like, well, that's not what I wanted to hear, you know? So, yeah, like I said, this conversation with this stubborn emperor personality over here, it's really helping you to drop these wands so that you can move forward. So whatever they had to say in this conversation with the Eight of Wands, this is stuff this is not right. This isn't the stuff you wanted to hear. And this really helps you to drop that burden of the Ten of Wands and move forward. I have the Knight of Cups. This is how it ends. This is a sincere love offer. Also, they're a soulmate. There's somebody else coming in. There's somebody else for you. This is not the Three of Cups. Now, some of you might think they're coming back and they're going to offer love and everything's going to be fine. No, I don't see it that way. Not at all in this reading. I see this is who you want, not this. And this is who's coming in. And they have a sincere cup of love. The Knight of Cups has a very sincere cup of love. It's small. It's like, can I have your phone number? Would you like to go for a walk? Want to go for a cup of coffee? You know, something about getting to know you better. So I do see that there is hope. You are moving forward, and you're moving towards a place where you're allowing this Knight of Cups energy to come in. I need one more card here for clarification that goes between the Two of Pentacles and the Emperor. It's the Page of Cups. Page of Cups. This can be Pisces again. Pisces, because there's a fish in the cup. But the Page of Cups is an immature energy, lands right on the Emperor. All your confusion. This is a cup that's tainted. We didn't have the Seven of Cups. But this, there's not enough room for love in that cup because there's a fish in it. And this is why you were so confused. That's all they had to offer, was just a measly old cup that was mostly full of a fish. So they didn't really have the love to offer you. Even they just like being single too much. That's the thing. They're almost narcissistic. They're selfish, which is okay. It's fine. It's just that they can't. They don't want to move forward with anybody. They want to stay single. They like friends with benefits. They like it, without handing out their love. So, wow. Sagittarius, this was your reading. And thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot.